Yo, what up, peeps? What up, peeps? I just decided to go live for a second because the Matt Rule presser is going to happen in a couple minutes, and so I wanted to see what kind of BS and cap this dude is going to spew in regards to Matt Barkley. I'm just curious. Man. So I just want to react to it as it happens. And that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. So whenever it happens, I will share my screen and we will get to it. Let me see if I can go ahead and share it so when it come up, there's no scrambling. So I'm gonna go ahead and share. Let's just make sure y'all can hear. Can we get a test on the audio? Get a test on the audio real quick. Real quick test on the audio. Can y'all hear that okay? All right, audio is good. Appreciate that. Yeah, we just want to see what kind of BS the man is gonna spew. So whenever it happens, it should happen within the next 5 minutes. Within the next 5 minutes, it should go down. And as soon as it happens, I got my Twitter feed right here, and we're gonna go live. All right. So as soon as it happens, we're gonna go there. All right. So, fam, like Matt Barkley is our backup to the backup. We still got Cam Newton out there, and I was gonna do a whole video on Cam Newton and what happened and why this organization is really holding the fan base hostage right now. They really holding the fan base hostage right now in regards to Cam Newton. I feel like this team is a decent quarterback away from being solid. Like, I'm not saying a deep playoff team, and I know we got issues on the offensive line, but I think if you added Cam Newton to this roster, you cannot tell me that this team wouldn't be much better, far improved. And listen, I was critical. Now, before I get into all that, make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, notification bell. We got a lot of new subscribers, so I appreciate y'all. A lot of people subscribed based off of the video yesterday, so keep hitting that subscribe button. We on the road to 12,000 subscribers. 15,000 subscribers, and we have about 2,500 to go. I'm sorry, I'm getting all tongue tied. We got 2,500 to go. So please hit the subscribe button. But Cam Newton, I was okay with the way they initially let go of Cam. Not how they did it, but I was okay with them moving on from Cam. You get a new coaching staff in here. You bring in a new quarterback, and I thought that they brought in Teddy to be a bridge to the next guy, right? That's what the purpose was. So the plan that they had enacted worked. The plan that they were going with actually worked. And so I didn't have a problem with it. I didn't have a problem. I don't like how they did it. The execution was awful. They could have did it much better. They waited to the last minute, pretty much held Cam hostage. So I agree. That was not the appropriate way to handle the Cam Newton situation. But what I do not like is now that this man is available again and healthy, because that was the question mark, right? We got rid of him because of his health. I went back and watched all of the pressers. Everything was all on his health. Is he healthy? We don't know if he's healthy or not, so we're going to move on. I get it. But now that this man is healthy, he's played a season. You know what he's capable of. You know what he could bring to this offense. He's familiar with guys on the team. He's familiar with DJ Moore, familiar with Christian McCaffrey, familiar with Taylor Moton, familiar with some of the guys on defense. And so, what he can bring to the table. And at this point, it's just like, yo, what are we doing? PJ gonna show some flashes. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, PJ is gonna show some flashes in the next four, maybe 5 games that he plays, or for whatever for the rest of the season. But as soon as teams get the film on him and get his tendencies, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. As soon as team get film on this dude and his tendencies in the NFL, not just in XFL, that don't count. But as soon as they get his tendencies in the NFL, it's a wrap for PJ, bro. It's the NFL, fam. It's the NFL, dog. So, I just think that, PJ ain't the answer. Well, I think, I think he's going to be serviceable for the next couple of days, or for the next couple of weeks, but I don't think he's going to jive. I don't think he's going to jive. So, just my opinion. My opinion has been right more often than not, but I do think you're going to see some flashes from PJ. And I don't think he's going to be as bad as Darnold was, just because his mobility. But again, Sam Darnold was mobile too. I just think that PJ is a bit more mobile, and I think PJ is going to throw the ball. He's not scared to throw the football, and there's no pressure on PJ to make mistakes. Right? PJ is a backup. There's no pressure on him. Sometimes Sam let that pressure, like literally Sam Darnold's at the end of, like this could be the end of his career. So there's a lot of pressure on Sam. A lot of he's pressing to not make mistakes. PJ can play free. He's got the connection to rule. He's gonna be around. PJ ain't going nowhere. So he can play free. He can play free. So I agree. Listen, Cam ain't perfect. You're right. Cam ain't perfect, bro. But he's much better than what's on this roster right now. And he brings different things to the table. So while he might not be the most accurate dude, he gonna get you a third. I bet you won't have no issues on 3rd and 1 no more. I bet you won't have no red zone issues no more. I bet you'll be able to move the football. He can still push the football. A lot of people say, "Oh, he can't throw." That's book BS. Go and look at the film. Go and look at the Patriots film. He can throw the rock. All right, pressure's live. Let me see. Pressure's live. Here we go.
The exact amount's not known. I think it probably at least 4 weeks. Sounds like it's a pretty, at least 4 weeks, I think, based off what the doctors have said.
They're going to go on IR.
I believe so, yes.
So Sam to IR. That's what's going to happen. We called it.
Matt Barkley that made him someone that you want to sign?
Matt's someone that Dan had been with him in Buffalo. We had always kind of thought could be a good guy on the roster. He obviously was somewhere else, never kind of worked out to have him here. But smart guy, tremendous worker, accurate, can learn the offense quickly.
Dude gonna be up the roster next week.
Role. And but someone even in the summer we had looked at. So when the opportunity came to have someone that would go on the active roster, he seemed like a natural fit to get in here and back up PJ.
Given that Sam Darnold will be out 4 weeks, how likely would you all be in looking for another quarterback possibly?
Yeah, we would obviously explore any and all options. We're looking at everything. We expect PJ to play well. Obviously, Matt, we know, is a veteran player that can come in here and learn it quickly and can help us. But there's nothing we wouldn't do, nothing we wouldn't look at.
Oh, of course not.
When you talked to Sam, was he thinking he might be able to play through it, or was it a no-brainer, like, you can't play for something like this?
You changed it just like this week.
When you met with Sam after the MRI or whatever.
I think he knows that it's in his best interest to take care of this right now. And so,
it was his best interest not to play too, and y'all threw him out there like some dumbasses.
Willing to play through anything, but this is it's an incomplete fracture, so I think we caught it where it's not gonna, we can just manage it in 4 weeks and hope 4 to 6 weeks maybe we can get him back. So obviously he'd love to play, but player's health comes first.
Was it something that was re-aggravated during the game, or?
He don't know. Great question though.
Yeah, I couldn't say that specifically just because I'm not a doctor. I think obviously he had the injury the week before. This was in a different spot, different pain that he had. They MRI'd it the first week. Just had a little different pain coming in on Monday, so they went in and MRI'd it. So when it happened, I don't think Sam's he took a kind of a big hit in the game, so we think it might have been that. I got elbowed in the back, but this was not something he was complaining of last week. So when it happened, I don't know. I assume it was this game, but that's really not my place.
You still don't believe that you said Monday and Sunday, I believe that the shoulder or the hip that did not impact his performance?
I think what I said on Monday was, when I look at the tape, I don't see him.
Nah, that's
wincing
what
or
you
struggling to
said.
Throw. I think at the end of the day, it was just some decisions. All that being said, when he plays through, when you see like, hey, whether it happened in the second quarter or not, when you look at the second half, he was obviously playing through something. You know what I mean? So
You ain't say that yesterday.
He came in on
Or
Monday with
the
that
other
much
day?
pain. Whether it happened the week before, whether it happened that week, he's playing through something, and so playing through a lot. So I have a lot of respect for Sam. At the end of the day, Sam's such a good guy. Like,
Who don't you have respect
he
for?
wants to talk about the decision making, the quarterback play, the throw. Like, he's just trying to get better and better and better. So, with all players, I think everything's a factor, right? So when they're going through something, you certainly have to acknowledge it. But as I said to you guys, when I looked at him in the game, I didn't see a bunch of poorly thrown balls. I just saw some decisions we'd love to have back.
You said potentially could have happened at the goal line or at the 8-yard line.
Yeah, what I said was I'm in no position to say it. When I asked Sam's not said anything to me. So we saw the hit in the last game. This is something he wasn't complaining of till Monday. So I'm not going to comment for somebody else. So I've asked him, because I'm always looking at what
This
happened.
is Cat, bro.
He came in Monday sore, and sore in different areas. So we, obviously we MRI'd him after the first game. This wasn't that, we didn't see anything. We saw something else that we were dealing with that he was managing. Came in on Monday with a different pain in a different area, MRI'd it. But again, I'm not going to comment for Sam in terms of when things happen,
And I just wanted to be clear, PJ Walker would be the starter Sunday.
Yes.
Also, with Brian Burns, he went down twice. The one with Mac, and then at the end of the game, were those the same injuries?
Yes. Same ankle.
You got respect for Mac Jones too.
To hold on to the starting job for the next 8 weeks.
Just has to go play well this week.
Shit, it shouldn't take much
I
for
don't
PJ to
do
keep
too
dancing.
much thinking
Or
ahead
keep
of that.
the,
I'm just trying to get PJ ready to go play.
keep
this
the
week. Just like
starting
last week,
quarterback.
We're trying to get him ready to play last week if we needed him. This week, we're facing a great Arizona defense, trying to get him ready for this week, and that's really it. Nothing really beyond that.
How's Brian looking for going against Cardinals?
Yeah, Brian didn't practice today, so it'll probably be a kind of an all up until Sunday type of a deal. See where he's at on Sunday. Knowing Brian Burns, I don't put anything past him. I mean, he's his ability to recover is pretty special. He's kind of like Wolverine. He kind of regenerates. I mean, he's just a
He's like Spider-Man.
Unbelievable
You
athlete
dumbass.
person. So he puts a lot of time into recovery. So I wouldn't put anything past him, but it's gonna take a long time to see.
When you're scheming against the Cardinals, two very different quarterbacks with Colt and Kyler, how does that make that difficult?
I thought Colt went in and played awesome against the 49ers. I mean, it's really the same offense. I think having gone against Cliff in college and now in the pros, I mean, he's just such a creative offensive mind, and they have such tremendous, weapons. AJ Green's outside, Hopkins is outside. There's probably nobody better. Rondale Moore's come in and made a huge impact. Kirk's made a huge impact. Now you've added in Zach Ertz. James Conner is a power back. Unfortunately, Edmonds is hurt. Benjamin, who I recruited, 100 years ago, is out there playing for them now. So they have so many weapons that really the offense is predicated on getting those guys the ball. And so obviously Kyler adds a dynamic element of running the football, both from drop back, from zone read, from scrambles. But really, when you look at their offense, it's a big play offense, throwing the ball down the field and those guys going up and getting it. And truly like a Big 12 offense, spreading you out sideline to sideline and then running the ball inside. So, whichever quarterback's in there, I think they'll do both of those. You just have to, when Kyler's out there, obviously account for a little bit more of the quarterback running. It's the fastest player I've ever seen on the field, both in college and then last year he had a long scramble. So he's a special player.
Matt, you said you would explore any and all options at quarterback.
No, they won't.
Have you all reached out to Cant?
There we go.
Or would you?
I won't get into any hypotheticals. I'll probably just talk about the guys.
Great
on the roster,
question.
We, our job is to try to win. So we're going to, talk to, evaluate and talk to whatever we think is possibly out there. But in terms of specific comments, I just talk about our team.
Is there much out there at this point?
No, you got Matt Barkley.
Figure out what is out there. And, we've trained PJ for a long time. He has to go play well. We're playing well on defense. We're the second-ranked defense in the NFL. We have to protect the football. So we're kind of concentrating on the guys we have here, and then Scott will do a great job, and I'll support in any way in terms of looking at, other options. But really this week is kind of my focus, and PJ, and then Matt obviously coming in, learning it on quickly.
Coach, can you just address Arizona's defense? They're fourth in the league right now, and even without Watt, has an awful lot of talent.
Yeah, I mean, JJ was playing awesome. but they have tremendous players. I mean, Chandler Jones is playing at an elite level. Buda Baker to me is a difference maker. He's one of my favorite players to watch. Maybe not coach against, but watch. I mean, he's all over the field. They're an aggressive. I think Coach Joseph does a great job. They're an aggressive defense that loads the box and forces you to throw it. I mean, they're a play away from being undefeated. And so schematically, they present challenges, but they also have really good players and they're fast. So, we know we have quite a task ahead.
Coach, this team has experienced streaks in both directions, both with bunches of wins, but the same with losses. Where do you look now to build consistency?
Yeah,
We've
been trying to build consistency since we got here. As I said to the team, it's a journey towards that. Like everybody can say they want to be consistent. It's a journey. And so I'm not going to apologize that we haven't gotten to the destination early. It takes time. But that being said, I want to get to the destination now. So we're trying to build that. We're trying to assert that. And I think a concept for everyone to understand is that, for our guys to understand that it takes everybody. You can be second in the league in defense, but, the defense needs the offense needs the defense, the special teams need the – so we all have to play collaborative football. And so, it's something that we're working at. It's something that we're trying to get to. It's something that I truly believe once we get it done, once we are a consistent team, it'll stay there for a long time because we're trying to do it the right way.
No, it won't.
But, really at the end of the day, this game comes down to just this game, and this is a really tough matchup. This is a really good team. That being said, we have a good team, and we have guys who play well. And so what we need is our
good
best
coaching.
players to play
That's
their
what we
best
need.
Football. We need our guys who fill roles, to do their roles at a high level. And we can't have turnovers and penalties and all the things that have kind of plagued us. And so that's the message. It's not some like, hey, change this, change that. It's just do what we're doing better. And I think some of the guys get it. It's just.
I think
it's
some of the guys get it.
You have to fight every day.
All the guys should get it, fam.
Fight to get.
Kind of
done.
answers that.
Once it happens, it's built to last, and but we're not there yet. So that's what we're working towards, and I'd like to see it happen sooner rather than later.
I know it's next man up. I get that, but how tough is it to roll in offensive linemen seemingly by the hour at this point?
Yes, it's not ideal, but it is what it is, and when a guy goes out there and plays well, you learn something more about your team. Having a chance to put Michael Jordan out there and he played well. I think Sam Tecklenburg went in the game. When you watch the tape, there wasn't one play where I was like, oh, Sam struggled here. Sam Tecklenburg played like an NFL center. Dennis Daly has all the ability to do it. Dennis and I sat down yesterday and watched like 4 games of his together, and I learned a lot about that. He's got a lot of really good plays. And so there's just 2, 3, 4 plays a game that, he has to amplify his play on. So we're in the process of building some depth at that position because a lot of guys have had to play. That usually doesn't lead to tremendous chemistry and cohesion, especially versus defenses like we're about to play that have different looks, that will play a 4-4, that will play a 4-3, that will go to a nickel. But you know what? These guys are here for a reason. They're NFL players. They have to step up and play.
And in talking about that with Dennis, I mean, you did a similar thing a couple of weeks ago with Sam, going back to the New Orleans game. How often do you do that with individual guys and really sit down one-on-one?
Sam is his guy. They go back to Baylor.
A lot, but probably not enough. I think that's truly what coaching is. It's one-on-one helping players get better, position coach, coordinator, or head coach. It's one-on-one as a coach listening to players because sometimes they have perspectives that you don't hear, and it can be eye-opening. So I'd say I do it a lot, but I probably could do it better.
And I know you referenced Scott, but you also have a say in the 53. What were the discussions like coming into this season as you all evaluated your backup quarterbacks and the decision to go with, at the time, Will and PJ versus maybe getting a veteran guy?
Yeah, no, I have a lot of say in those things. PJ's here because I believe in him. PJ's here.
We know why PJ here. That's your guy.
Scott believes in him. I think
that's why he's here.
You can sometimes in the NFL you can get a veteran quarterback that can manage the game for you, and can he go win a game for you? Some can. Some. I mean, every guy's different, But I think we saw a guy in PJ that has a lot of ability that can move you with his feet or with his arm. So it's hard sometimes as a backup quarterback. You go in there and you have to play, but in terms of what all the discussions were, I wouldn't do it justice going back and looking at it. I just know that we all felt pretty convicted that, if we needed a quarterback, he'd be the guy that we would turn to. So we're always looking to, improve all positions, but with where it was, that, that's where we thought would be the best. And that was just kind of the decision.
Any more?
Matt, and maybe you answered this when you answered Joe's question, but I just wanted to ask you again. Why would you not, look at signing Cam Newton?
Jonathan Alexander.
That pretty well, guys. I think I answered that. I'm not going to talk hypotheticals, but other people look at everything. So
It ain't a hypothetical, fam. He's
Considering
available.
Your short-term success versus the long-term plan you're building here, how do you weigh bringing a quarterback from the outside compared to having players in your building? What kind of challenges does that present?
it's a great question. My job is to try to win right now. Our fans aren't paying money to watch us try to win in 2 years. That being said, you're also trying to build a Super Bowl caliber team. So it's this balancing act of doing what's right long term while also trying to win at the same time. And many times those are the same thing. But so if we were stunting the growth of a guy that's going to be, that's going to be the guy that takes us to a Super Bowl at any position, I wouldn't do it for a short term fix. That being said, if a guy can come in and help us compete, I think there's 4 teams in the NFL that have 6 wins or more in the NFC. Everyone else is about like us. So like lots of teams right now in the NFL are trying to figure out how to get past 500 and have a good year and win in the second half of the year. And so part of that's injuries, so my job is to try to win. I owe it to those guys in the locker room to try to win. And so all that being said, I'm just not going to do it at the expense of some like, hey, trade all our future draft picks for someone that, makes everyone feel good. That's not really in play.
You ain't got to trade nobody.
Went down. We're trying to put the best possible product on the field to go win. We think we have a team that can win. So I just look at it kind of in both instances, right? So sometimes it's, hey, we can get to CJ Henderson. I think he's going to be a great player. Hey, we have a chance to go get Stephon Gilmore. He can help us win right now. Neither one stunts the other, as long as we're not, stunting one for the other. I think that's
you
where
stunted us with Sam. You ain't talking about him.
Teams make the hardest.
Talk about the Sam trade.
Part about this job, but
because we stunted like
I
shit.
look at growth,
stunting like our daddy.
And so, like I said, I've referenced that about the defense a couple of times. Like, the guy here, we were 21st in defense. Last year was 18th. Now we're second. We haven't quite done that on offense. It was 21st year before I got here. I think it was like 21st last year or 22nd. Now we're 27th. So we're kind of gone a little bit like this on offense, but it's not like we've gone down 30 spots. And so
you ain't got nowhere to go. What are you talking about?
Fans weren't happy at the game. Players on the sideline weren't happy. I wasn't happy. But there's tremendous signs of growth in a lot of areas. So we just have to amplify a little bit more on offense. So anybody that can help us win, we're going to bring in.
No, you're not.
It's just I'm not going to.
That's cap.
Bench Jeremy Chin for someone that I think can maybe help us for.
What is he talking about?
I'm going to do what it takes long term to build a Super Bowl champion team, and that's Mr. Tepper hired me. He told me 2 things. He said, "I want back-to-back winning seasons. I want consistency, and I want to bring a Super Bowl here."
Well, shit, we got 4. Almost have 4 consecutive losing seasons.
None of that happens overnight, but it doesn't mean we're not trying to make it happen overnight. That doesn't mean we're not trying to win this game this week. And so, we have 8 games left. I expect us to go compete in every single game, try to win every single game, and whichever players can help us do that, we're going to do it with.
Those
who you ever have a situation we're going to do you, or we're going to do bash time this morning? That belief in PJ, was it automatic with you at Temple, or did the times you doubted him, and kind of go back to some moments that kind of stood out?
Yeah, and I just want to make sure I said my belief in PJ here as an NFL player has nothing to do with
Cap. That's Cap.
When we signed PJ, there was about 5 other teams trying to get PJ to sign out of the XFL, and he just came here because A, his fiance is a school teacher here in Charlotte. That's a big part of it. And B, because I think he knew us and knew that, he would get an opportunity to compete. So that being said, I think PJ Walker's won at every level that he's been at. He won in high school, won a state championship, won a championship with me in college, won in the XFL, and he's here now. And I'd ask the other players what they think, So he's a backup quarterback going to start against the number 4 ranked defense in the National Football League. That's a tall tale. But I can tell you, he's not gonna not go attack it. There's nothing that's going to be scared from PJ Walker. I mean, he's going to go out there and he's going to compete to fight at a high level. And I think players rally around that. So, I knew him when he was 18 years old, 17 years old. He's come a long way since then. But I just, I think it's important for PJ's sake, not for mine, for PJ's sake. There is no agenda there. There's no like, well, we won together. I mean, I've had to cut some players that I coached in college. Every time I bring a player here that I coached in college, I know someday I'm gonna have to walk away from them. None of that is easy, so I don't do that lightly. But I watched Quincy Roche get the sack fumble to win the game for the Giants the other day. I saw, I hug a player pretty much every week from the other team that played for me. So we had a lot of good players. I only say that for PJ's sake, because PJ, I think it's a tall task, but I think PJ will go out there and play really hard.
You tell some tall tales.
Question
You was
the
right.
timing of Darnold's injury, given the fact that he struggled and that there were questions about whether he should be the starter going forward. What do you say about those who have questions about that, the timing of this decision or the injury?
I don't even know. I'm sorry, say that one more time. What do you mean in terms of question if he's actually injured?
Yeah.
There have been questions about the timing of this.
I would be disrespectful to me to even answer that. That kid's hurt. He's banged up. Yeah, I mean, I don't.
Great question, though.
Say someone broke something if they didn't. So I hope we've.
Great question, Vashti.
Every question. I think I've never misled anyone. So if people question that, then there's nothing I can do for that. So I would never do that to a player. Thanks, guys.
This is season ending for Sam.
I don't believe so. I believe 4 weeks.
Oh, he mad. He mad, y'all. He is pissed. Fam, he is pissed. Y'all see the way he walked off? Oh, he's mad. Great question, Vashti. Great question. She asked what the people really wanted to know. The timing of the injury. Yes, because the man sat up there and got injured in the Falcons game. We saw it. We saw that man get destroyed in the Falcons game. You turned around and put him right back out there. You can say he got injured again, but he got tenderized up in Atlanta. He got tenderized. Okay. He got tenderized up in Atlanta. And then maybe he re-injured it again against the Patriots. So you put him back out there knowing the man was tenderized. So yeah, we got questions. And then now all of a sudden he benched and on IR. Yeah, so yeah, we got questions for it. And you got big mad. Yeah, we got questions. He didn't leave the interview early. I think there was one more question and they got to it. But he did storm off a little bit. But I want to go back to something real quick. Can I go back to something? Can I go back? I can't. Won't let me go back. I wanted to go back because this dude was talking some They got Brian Burns talking now, but I won't go back to that. Man, let's see. Let me see. I can find it.
As you all evaluated your backup quarterbacks.
What was the question?
4 teams in the NFL that have 6 wins or more in the NFC. Everyone else.
When he was talking about the offense.
His arm.
It's messing up, but anyway, he was. I found it on Twitter, but anyway, like what is he talking about, man? Like what is my man talking about? Like it's a lot of questionable things going on right now. A lot of questionable things going on right now. It's weird. It's weird. Let me just tweet something real quick. But yeah, man. Yeah, Don DeMarco, absolutely. 100%. 100%. But yeah, man, they credit again, man. I don't think I've heard our beat writers and reporters do this is the best job I think they've ever done. And I credit to them. Shout out to Vashti because they listen. They're in the town halls. They listen. Their ears are to the street. Jonathan Alexander, he had his own town hall the other day. Their ears are to the street. They know what's up. I think it's a little bit different space than we've been in prior years. They are listening. Shout out to Chris from Charlotte Vibe. Him too. He has his own space on YouTube where he's starting to go live with YouTubers and listening to the people. They know what's going on, and so they're asking questions that the fans really want to know answers to. Are they out of bounds? Maybe. maybe the question that Vashti answered was a little bit out of bounds. Is he faking an injury, or is that legit? But that's what we want to know. It's a legit question, and he answered it the way he should. He should have said, "Hey, man, the injury's legit. That's it. Next question." That's how we should have answered it. But to get all pissy and riled up or whatever, like that was, come on, man. Come on, man. But they listening. Crap, man. Let me just clap it up, man. Just clap it up. Clap it up. Clap it up, man. Clap it up. Clap it up for our beat reporters. They did a great job. Vashti, Joe Person, and Jonathan Alexander. Aaron from Unnecessary Buttons just tweeted it, and I retweeted it. They did a great job. Fantastic for them. And they pressed him about the Cam. Why didn't you go get Cam? They questioned him about that twice. They asked twice. Joe Person asked it initially. Jonathan Alexander said, I don't think I heard your answer. Can you let me ask again? And asked it again. So they are pressing. They are pressing. It's a legitimate question. And you ain't got to do nothing. You don't have to mortgage off a pick or go trade picks. Cam Newton is available. Now, does Cam want to come here? Whole different story. Like he may just not want to come here. And that's most certainly, I think I saw somebody post that earlier, that he may not want to come here. That could be 100% accurate. But I think he would be doing a disservice to himself, because this team is capable. I think this team is a solid quarterback away from being solid, right? I think with Cam, we take this to another level. But Cam could also say, you know what, I don't even want to go back to that no more. I'm cool. I'm done with that. Okay, Locks, man, give me a better option that's out there right now. Give me a better option that's obtainable right now. Give me a better option that's obtainable right now. Because they went out and got Matt Barkley. You think Matt Barkley is the answer? Give me a better option. That you don't got to trade for. Because you ain't got to trade for nothing. You ain't got to sign nobody off the practice squad. There is no better option. No, these players are on rosters. That's not how it works. These players are on rosters. Give me a dude that you can go out there and get that's better than Cam Newton. Because you ain't gonna be able to find one. He is the only option, and it would do wonders. If you want to talk about fan base morale, all that stuff matters, right? You want people in the seats. You want this fan base to get excited again. Bring back Cam. It's an easy answer, bro. Easy answer. Easy answer. Phillip Rivers is retired, bro. He got like 18 kids to take care of. And he's older, bro. Like, I don't know if he want to come back out of retirement. Cam Newton is the only option. That's why they continue to ask. Cam is the only option that they could bring back and at least keep us afloat. It ain't gonna be perfect. It ain't gonna be perfect. Bringing Cam here ain't gonna solve everything. But it sure does do a lot of things. It sure does do a lot of things. You need to right the wrong. He is the only option. You can go out there right now and make something happen. The only one. Instead, we got PJ Walker and Matt Barkley. And we know why PJ's here. He danced it. He danced around that question. Oh, we got PJ because blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. PJ, he's here because I blah, 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 blah. But I got a couple more minutes. I got to get off of here. I got a meeting to go to. But fam, great presser today by our beat writers. They did a great job. Great job. Great job by the guys today, man. They pressed them. They pressed them. The heat is on, bro. The heat is on. The heat is on. The pressure has been applied by our beat writers. Great job today. Great. I don't say that very often. I've been critical of them too, but they did a great, fantastic job today, and we appreciate that. And truth be told, a lot of them is putting they put their careers and stuff on the line. They sacrifice their networking capabilities when they go out there and ask questions like that. When you challenge people, that means they may feel some type of way and may not want to answer your questions later. So they put their credibility on the line. So shout out to them, man. Shout out to them. Shout out to them, man. Really appreciate it. Vashti, Joe Person, Jonathan Alexander, we appreciate that. We do. We really do. That being said, man, I got to get out of here. I got a meeting to go to. I'm going to holler at y'all later. I don't know when. Dave might holler at y'all. You never know. But appreciate y'all support. Hit that like button, subscribe button. Under 7 wins, we marching on Mint. Under 7 wins, we marching on Mint. Bars. I'm out. Peace.